Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, D Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. I do what I do for you. I got a nice lesson for you today. Ode to Bill Withers. Was that using me? Title: How good it feels to be used by you. So let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message, the message in the story for life. There's another life lessons I give you. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. Let's do what we do. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. You're gonna hear that a lot. That's the motto right here. That's the mantra, and that's the program. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. All right thinkers, your goal should be to know thyself. See where we're going with that? So the question, do you know you? I ask you, it's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that because that's what I do for you. A person who knows not, knows not that they know not, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not, it's simple. You can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows not. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and always to my yacht. Be true. Right thinkers, let's talk about how good it feels to be used by you. As I said, to Bill Withers, but I put my little twist on it. You know the deal. So let's go. To be young and dumb is normal. That's par for the course. But to be old and dumb, that's a you problem, and that's pretty much your own fault. Get knowledge of self. When you have self knowledge, when you know who you are, it's hard for you to be used. But that used thing we call on the streets being played. On the street, the rule is play or be played. So in the social circle in that world, use or be used. But now that use can go both ways. Let me break it down for you, see if you can get the concept. When you are in love, okay, with someone who doesn't love you the way you love them, they're going to use you to their benefit. Understand that. And you have to be understanding of the fact that you're going to be used. Okay, why? Because you're going to allow them to use you. So you're going to be used. Prepare. And when it works out, sometimes love is really another name for play or being used. But when it's working, when y'all using each other, aka love each other, so you're gonna allow the other person to use you. See where I'm going with that? So get the concept. Understand. When it works out, when the person who you love loves you back, or the person you allowed to use you, allowing you to use them back, that's a fair deal. And watch, that becomes what? Bliss. You reach the level of bliss, you be joyful, you have happiness. Why? With your situation, what people see and what people think don't mean nothing in your personal relationship, young people. Don't get caught up in trying to appease other people. Well, we nope. If you and the person you're with understand that, you use them, they use you. You love them, they love you. Y'all work out, and you be happy with each other. That's called balance. Yeah, you need that, okay? In life, using someone is part of the process, relationship. Why? Again, you're going to allow them to do certain things you would allow nobody else to do. I hope so. So that one person who you allow to walk on you, allow you to treat you a certain way, that's cool. If you're getting something in return. Like my man said, bruh, if you only knew, if it feels good being used, keep using me. Why? Because I'm sure I'm using you. If there's a fair deal, that's how it works out. That's called relationship, partnership, friendship. But it means that both of y'all are getting some out the deal. And that's, I call reciprocity. Same thing. If you give, they receive. If they give, you should receive. If it ain't working that way, it ain't going to work. Moving on. Use, first of all, next one is misuse me and lose me. What I'm saying that is when you're using me and I ain't liking it, or you ain't letting me use you to my likings, it's not going to work. Simple. If I find out that you using, aka playing me for a sucker, I'm not him. Bye bye. I have two ex marriages because of that. I filed for divorce. Why? Man, I ain't putting up with this nonsense, and I feel like I was being played. So I'm out. Moving on. I got played. Moving on. Now, I'm not a user of people no more. Back in them days, man, I used everybody to my benefit. If you had something I needed, okay, we can work something out. What you need? Drugs, whatever. That's how it goes. Simple as that. On the streets, if I teamed up with you or partner up with you, pony up with you, you got something I need. Trust me. I'm not gonna be in a situation where I'm not getting nothing in return. That's not smart. Okay, right thinkers? So if you have something that you want or need, you don't have to lie, use, or play me to get it. Just be honest. Simple as that. If I got it, I'm willing to give it, no problem. But don't lie, cheat, or play me to get it. That's going to upset me. When you know them kind of people, it's the way to deal with them kind of people. Trust me. Now, if you have something I want or need, I'm willing to what? Earn it. If that's what it takes. But it's got to be an understanding of give and take. What I want, you got. Maybe something I want that you want, I have. That's bartering. That's old school working the things out between two people. I have, again, like I said, I got two ex-wives. Why? Because I felt like I was being used by both of them. And that's why they're exes. If you can't take care of the problem, you're going to continue to have that problem. Homie, don't play that. Now, where we at? No, yeah, okay, where we at? Okay. Okay. Next one. If it feels good when the person using you, okay. Why? It's because why? You're using them too. And that's how it's supposed to go. That's a fair deal. If you're using me, I should be able to use you. So if it feels good being used, we can use each other to what? We use each other up. That's okay. To death do us part. When you got that kind of deal, okay, love. Don't make a difference what you call it, but that's pretty much what it is. I'm calling it the way it is. Moving on. What's this? But if it feels good, okay. If you're being used, and a lot of us are, and you're not using them, it don't feel good. Why? To be used, and you're not getting nothing in return from the person who's using you. It's just a bit of information. It ain't personal with me. If you think I'm talking to you, that means you probably doing what I'm talking about. I ain't talking to you personally. I'm just giving you a scenario. If you fit it, Cinderella, it's on you. If you're being used and you're not happy, you're in a bad relationship. Simple as that. And guess what? At that point, it's up to you to make the change. The person who uses you not going to not do what they do, which is use you or play you. So what should you do? Okay? You don't control them. You control you. Moving on. When I was using people back in the day, it was because it was something they got out of it also for me. If you and I was doing something, you either got drugs, time, but it was something that we was both going back and forth. Wasn't nobody taking the short. I ain't into the short business. I ain't trying to short you. I ain't trying to take none. So that's what using is all about. Fair dealing, mostly. As a drug dealer, I was still a fair dealer. Users are not good people. Again, I was fair. I wasn't a user. Because the only reason they will choose you, why? Is there some way they can use you. Those kind of people come a dime a dozen, and it's up to you as the person to recognize them. Wolf in sheep clothing, with nickels, you feel me? Slick, talking fast, talking. If you don't recognize those people, that's a you problem. You call it, that's what make you a victim. A vic, we call you. Unsuspecting. Well, I didn't hear that. Yeah, okay, that's why you got. Okay. Some people are what? Okay with being used. Again, why? Because yes, they are what? Also using you too. So if that's a deal, that's fair. It only becomes unbalanced when one ain't getting what it's putting out. Fair is you receiving and I'm giving. You giving, I'm receiving. That's fair. If it ain't going that way, it ain't going nowhere. If you, excuse me, if I use you, you should be able to use me too. Simple as that. If I got something you need, you got something I need, we can work it out. You can use me for what you need, and I can use you for what I need. It's okay. In any partnership or relationship, what happened? You're using each other for what they can do for you. Again, when you put them together and vice versa, put it together, I'm giving you, you giving me. That's a fair deal. When that don't happen, it's time to what? Change the deal. Why? Because it ain't in your favor. Why you keep doing something that ain't benefiting you? Moving on. That's being played to the highest. When I was really, excuse me, when I was selling drugs, I used people to get the drugs moving. Yeah, but they got money or the drugs, whatever it was, they got something out the deal. I didn't just no, I wasn't that again, I wasn't that kind of dude. So I had people sold drugs for me, but they was making money for themselves. You can't sell anything and don't get nothing out the deal. Well, I mean, that's just not how I roll. Again, I'm gonna use you. You can use me back. Why? If I use you to sell the drugs, you can use me to make some quick money. Caveat to that is once you get the job, you're on your own now, and I ain't responsible. Okay, but that's how the game play. Okay, understand that. But that's what I'm trying to show you. If somebody's doing something for you, they should be doing something. You should be doing something for them. That's fair, unless you just a user. When all you want to do is just get. You see, if you're in a relationship or a friendship, and you always giving, because that's how you are. Stop, reflect, and what have you received for what you've been given? If you ain't fair, if it ain't balanced, stop giving. Moving on. You find out all of a sudden you got no friends. Another lesson. Moving on. Where am I? Now, yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, when I was in the streets, if you had something I needed, oh, we can hook it up. Why? We can make a deal. Why? I got something you may want. Simple. And if you have something of value, you can always negotiate. You can always barter. Why? You got something of value. I had drugs. Moving on. And a good business, watch this, a good business deal is what? When two people use each other and they prosper through the using of each other. I don't want to take a short dealing with you. I don't want to have to be taking losses because I'm dealing with you or you using what I'm doing and you ain't paying me. That's not good business. If somebody's working for you, working means you getting paid. If you don't pay your workers, they slaves. Moving on. We've been there. I know nobody want that nonsense, but working means you getting paid. If you got a job, look at it, come on with a paycheck. I never forget the first time I did that nonsense. I tell my wife, baby, I ain't got no. What you mean you got any? See, so that ain't a good deal. Moving on. That's being used. No, that's abuse. All right, moving on. Let me wrap this up. Well, yeah. Okay. Now, if I deal with you, it's because I can see use you if you use me. That's cool. If we gonna work together, it's something I'm getting out the deal, but I'm something you can get out the deal. That's cool. Again, if I ain't getting out of the deal, we don't have a deal. And if we got a deal, I ain't getting out, I'm gonna stop that deal. Moving on. Last one. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. This shouldn't take much more time. I'm almost done. I don't feel good. Excuse me. No, excuse me. don't feel good what? When you are being used and you are not the user, but you are the usee. It don't feel good when the person playing you getting all the benefits and you ain't getting nothing. Not good. Let me wrap it up. So, if we're doing something together, it's only because you have something that I want. Trust me. If you have nothing to value, I'm not gonna bother you. Why? You ain't got nothing for me. If you got something that ain't particularly what I like or want, again, nothing for me. If I'm doing the giving and I'm not getting, I'm not doing the receiving, oh man, no. That means I'm being played. I don't like that. Nobody likes that. So I'm not no different than nobody else, okay? And I'm not the type of person to use you like that. I don't mind using, receiving back and forth. I'm not just going to outright use you. I don't do that. Moving on. Some people do just that. Just use and use and use. That's what we call them users. Moving on. In my two failed marriages, I felt like I was being used. And I didn't feel good. Why? I'm not gonna be in a position where I don't feel good. Not a marriage. I'm not happy. I'm getting out of that nonsense. Why? That's my choice. Again, we have choices. If you don't make the best choice for yourself, you're going to allow somebody to, yeah, use you. At a certain point, it become abuse. My man said, you get me in the crowd of high class people and you act real rude to me. We know people do that. You get your man out, your girl out around your people, and you just really, not treat them right. That's not cool. And if they people do that, you should embarrass them. Mm-hmm. We wrap this up. Now, if you're being used and you're happy, that means you using them too. Like my man said, brother, if you only knew, you wish you was in my shoe. Why? Because if this feeling's good being used, use me up. Why? Because I'm using her to do the things she do for me. That's the bottom line with some people. They want to give up whatever they gonna give up for what? For pleasures in return. That's a fine deal. That's the deal y'all working. Simple as that. Again, that's fair dealing. I pay, you play. We move on. Last thing. If it feels good to be used, and I'm benefiting from being used, keep on using me. Why? Till you use me up. Why? If it feel good, I'm with it. That's a good thing. Hope you enjoyed the lesson, but don't be used if it don't feel good. And close it, right thinkers. May you all let it be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinker like you passed away or been used.